r/AskReddit by Reddit. What's an unexpectedly well-paid job? Boiler operator. Get paid $35 hour to play Skyrim on Switch while watching Netflix. Just have to find one that's all operator and no maintenance. I work at home as a closed captioner broadcaster for the news. I make my own schedule and make between $35 to $65 per hour depending on the job. Large investment to get started, but significantly worth the payout. An office job, but you're secretly on Reddit. That's my job. SHHHHH. My job only pays $12.25 an hour, but I'm literally on Reddit for 7 out of 8 hours. Garbage collectors in New York are paid up to $112K, a solid salary considering you don't even need a degree. Sounds like a nice fallback plan for me. The waitlist for those, which you can only apply for a very short window once a year or so, is insanely long. Edit. Welp. RIP my inbox, people got opinions. Airline dispatcher. A girl I dated many years ago I met because she was living in my town training to be an airline dispatcher. There are just a handful of schools that teach it. I had no idea what an airline dispatcher was, let alone how much money they get paid. Dispatchers at FedEx can make $150,000 per year or more. It also gives you a lot of options to advance at an airline, like being station chief at an airline. The girl I dated had a dream to one day be Air France station chief in Tahiti. I don't know if she made it or not. The girl I dated had a dream to one day be Air France station chief in Tahiti. It's a magical place. Court reporting. Stenography is a tough skill to learn, but plenty of court reporters earn over $100K, and no college degree required, although most CRs will need to be certified. I'm currently in court reporting school and holy crap it is hard, but I enjoy it. I should be finished later this year and I can't wait to start working. Technical writing. If you have the ability to take complex technical information and simplify it according to the reading audience, you can make well over $100,000 annually. People ridicule English degrees until they find out how much can be earned as a technical writer. I have a PhD in genetics, but I'm also a people person. I write federal grants and do contract negotiations. I make $150,000 a year. There's a unique skill set in having the aptitude to retain scientific information and be able to simplify it. Also being a people person. When I moved back to the States last year I found there were 0 contractors in my area. I've killed it and could probably make 5-6x more if I hired more people, but I'm comfortable where I am. Mobile crane operator. Union guys pull over $200K and it's a trade that's pretty easy on the body. Operating engineers have a surprisingly high occurrence of back, neck and wrist injuries. They do make a ton of money though. Power linemen make bank. Not a lot of people even know about it. Insanely dangerous job though. 2 linemen died in our small town because some person/family didn't shut their breaker off when they hooked up their generator while they were working on it. Electricity is ducking terrifying, and sometimes even the smallest things missed can have major consequences. Edit. Rephrased a sentence to better say what I meant, but just for clarity the situation was during a natural disaster and sleep depravity was almost definitely the root cause of the deaths. Linemen were working and barely sleeping for a week straight before backup could come. But the lack of sleep in itself is a major danger, as is the weather they sometimes work in, or the electricity itself. Linemen take safety seriously, but one thing going wrong can end in disaster, even something as simple as flipping a wrong switch, or forgetting a single piece of safety equipment. But as far as things go, electricity is probably one of the last things on earth you want any accident with. I drive machinery in a coal mine in Australia. I make about $170K. Even our new trainees are paid pretty well, about $48 per hour. I think it ends up being close to $100K. Easy money for sitting on your ass in an air-conditioned cab. $170K odd equals $118,000. Self-employed cleaning services. I don't know exactly what to call it. My parents started getting paid $35 an hour cleaning a community center to $50 from cleaning offices. My mom started it, then my dad joined in to help her with the hours and taking care of the house and kids. Eventually my mom got good contacts and started cleaning the offices of managers from factories, Sacramento politicians, and stuff alike. Can't express how proud I'm of my mom. She turned all those awful Hispanic cleaning lady jokes into something brag-worthy. My mom did the same thing, but she mainly works for very wealthy people living around us. Makes around $100/HR, only works Tuesday, Thursday, and takes about 6 to 8 weeks of vacation yearly. UPS drivers can make close to $100K if you stay there long enough. Blew me away when I first heard that. My uncle was a UPS driver in Maine for 30 years. He had to quit due to an unrelated injury, but I'm pretty sure he was making high 80K low 90K before that. Becoming a locksmith changed my life. Well paid and I get to help people out. I love it. It opened a lot of doors for you, right? Close bracket. Ditch digger. Actually, directional boring. Guy I know was literally a ditch digger, but got into this by renting the specialized equipment just at the right time and right place. Fiber optic build out in the 1990s. He will also say that he made it simply by being reliable and trustworthy. I do not know exactly how much he makes, but he has an 80-foot sport fisherman. Probably cost $7-10 million, and he bought a $4 million property on a whim. To be honest, if you actually show up to a job site as a contractor and do a decent job, you are better than 90% of them. I swear half the time they will take a job and only show up to work when they run out of beer money. And let's not even get into quality of the work. I was a bathroom attendant in a fancy restaurant. Made hundreds of dollars a night in cash to do next to nothing. Well, they don't do nothing. Their purpose seems to be to make the bathroom experience half as convenient and 1000% more awkward, and they always succeed. The year I got out of high school I picked up a job at a private country club working the bag room. When I spotted a member I'd grab their reserved/private cart from the garage and load their clubs on it that they kept stored in the bag room. Couple damp towels hung on the back. Pencils, scorecards and everything waiting by the time they stepped up. Place was primarily executives and whatnot for like the major automotive companies here in Michigan. I made a couple hundred each day in tips. During a couple tournaments that took place I went home with around $500 in my pocket. I took home so much each day that I kept forgetting to pick up my paycheck, which was something like another $400 each week. Late 90s minimum wage. Only part of the job I hated was using the picker to get the balls off the range. There was always some douchebag trying to use me for target practice. Bartending. Some people know, but the overwhelming majority don't. If I only work 20 hours, 2 days a week this year, weekends, I would make close to $50K. If I really tried and worked 2 solid jobs 5 days a week I would easily hit close to, if not over $100K. This doesn't apply to every bar or bartender. You're not going to make this type of money at an Applebee's or a super franchised corporate establishment. So true. I have a good friend that bartends in this Spanish club in Miami, and he said if he decided to work 4 days a week instead of working 1 to 2 days a week, he could probably make $100K a year. Or in a small town. I used to make about $100 night at one of the busiest bars in town and thought it was so much before I moved to a city. Hot dog vendors can earn 6 figures in a year. Buddy of mine went to Hopkins back in the day and noticed that the lacrosse games, while well attended, had no vendors. Nobody seemed to want the job, so he asked if he could. Year later he had all his friends bagging hot dogs the night before and was buying drinks and chips by the truckload. Sold everything for $1. Came home after every game with trash bags full of dollars. Year or so later the school realized what a cash cow it was and took over the gig. But my buddy had pretty much paid for school by then. Document specialist for utilities. Basically you have to know someone to get into it, but I went from making 40k as an office admin to 120k as a doc specialist. No college requirement. Often people just get their spouses or siblings on because they've worked in an office before. As a general rule, this is terrible for anyone who actually knows what they're doing in the job, but, like, whatever. A lot of times I'm just getting paid to hold down a desk. Are you looking for a new spouse/sibling? Thank you for watching Reddit. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more r/AskReddit videos. Share your stories in the comment section below.